We're going to turn ahead to a constitutional law expert who's testified before Congress on many key issues and actually counseled lawmakers on impeachment when we're back in 30 seconds.
'Twas the night before Big Finish. St. Nick was jacked. Every cylinder was firing, and his back seat was packed with a Durango for Mom and a Charger for Dad and a Challenger for everyone on the list who is bad. You better get to bed if you want Dodge Power Dollars.
To all, a good deal at the Dodge Big Finish event. With Dodge Power Dollars, more power means more cash allowance. Purchase now and get $10 per horsepower. That's $7,970 on the SRT Challenger Hellcat Redeye.
We're back with a very special guest, renowned Harvard constitutional law scholar Laurence Tribe, who has, as publicly been reported, been advising Speaker Pelosi and the Democrats on impeachment this past weekend, fielding questions even before their mock hearing. He's also, we should note, testified before Congress as an expert over 24 times. And while we're at it, you should know his former students include Chairman Schiff, Chief Justice Roberts, Justice Kagan, and President Obama himself. His new book is To End a Presidency, The Power of Impeachment. Professor, we don't mean to make you blush, but we're thrilled to have you on a momentous historic night and to make sure viewers understand where you fit into all this. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Ari.
What does it mean that the House has taken this move today?
Well, it's obviously a somber day. You wouldn't know it from the antics of some of the Republicans in the hearing, but this is only the third time a president has been impeached. If he is indeed impeached next Wednesday, it will be the first time a president has been impeached in his first term, and it will be the first time that any president who has been impeached is on trial before a Senate of his own party. And what it looks like is that the majority leader is going to conduct this trial as though he's a member of the defense team. You know, it's an ancient principle, centuries old, actually over a millennium old, that you can't be a judge on your own case. And effectively, to allow Donald Trump to call the shots violates that principle.
And let me
but it
press
also
you,
may backfire.
Let me press you on that. You say it may backfire. You're talking about what we've been reporting. Senator McConnell saying this blatantly out in the open. Do you view that in the actual substantive sense as a violation of Senator McConnell's constitutional duty here, whatever sympathies he may have with the president?
It's no doubt. And I agree with Senator Dorgan. It's disgusting. It's a violation of his oath. No court will stop him. The Chief Justice won't stop him. But the reason it may backfire is that an exoneration, if that's what emerges, by a Senate that is essentially rigged and fixed so that it's coordinated in this way with the defense, really doesn't clear the name of the accused. So that the president will go down in history as having been essentially found guilty by the House in a proceeding where he had a chance to defend himself but didn't take advantage of it. And then in a kind of rubber stamp sort of toss-off, not really given a meaningful trial, so that he will have been adjudicated fundamentally by the House of Representatives to have abused his office, abused his oath, and endangered the national security, and then blockaded any inquiry as though he were a dictator.
It's fascinating
that's
because
not a very good record.
You're speaking with the expertise you have and as someone who's advised the Congress, but you're making a point that I haven't heard a ton today, which is that if what Trump and McConnell are after is some sort of public claim to an acquittal, you're saying they have undermined that by McConnell admitting the whole thing is rigged and they've tainted whatever public acquittal they seek.
I think that's exactly right. So that in the end, the real verdict that will have been reached is a verdict in the House of Representatives. The Senate will just be, I suppose you could call it, a Potemkin trial. You know, the Potemkin village in Crimea that Moscow Mitch is obviously quite happy to set up. It's not going to be a real trial unless there are witnesses, unless the evidence is displayed and subject to cross-examination. So what we're really going to have is an incomplete process but it will lay a precedent for the future, which I think is important. The precedent will be that a president who thinks he is above the law, who is willing to invite foreign intervention in our campaigns, who is willing to shake down an ally to benefit an adversary that is his benefactor, namely Russia, is not going to simply be cleared by the Congress of the United States. He's going to go down in history as a lawless president. And future presidents may have to think twice, because the stars may not always be aligned in such a way as to enable a president to get away with it.
Yeah.
And that's really what's important. You know, the issue is not Donald Trump. The issue for any president is, do we welcome a president getting a foreign power to intervene in our elections so that he takes away from us the right to vote, the centerpiece of our freedom? And I hope that is not going to be all right.
Yeah, and that's where the abuse of power article that you advised them on does echo aspects of the Nixon one, which is, what do you deny when the president can get away with undermining these things? Professor Tribe, I really appreciate you making time for us tonight, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Coming up,
good to be here.
We have a serious fact check on this big story. Ukraine still hasn't gotten the money, all of it, that Trump froze.